right now I'm here with my friend Wagner. He contacted me a while back, and this is going to be a really good show because, as all of you on my TikTok and my YouTube, you're into the aliens, you're into the UFOs. Well, Wagner here, you channel aliens, correct?
Exactly, Michael. I have recently started to work on my mediumship, and I have been channeling the Galactic Federation as well as spirits. So the it all started. If I may tell you how it all started, that's an amazing journey. So I have been trying to develop my mediumship for quite a while, and I never succeeded until one day that I had an out of body experience. That I don't know if it is a coincidence, a great coincidence or not, but that was exactly the day that Pope Leo was elected.
Okay.
I I was it was around 8 a.m. That day, and I I know that I didn't fall asleep because it was very different. I had out of body experiences before where I roamed my house, and that felt pretty much like that. So at that moment, I went to I woke up in a place. It was a room that was very simple. There was just one beam of light that there was this beam of light and a very simple bed, and the beam of light would go straight where, let's say, my head would be. So I woke up there, and I tried even to touch the that beam of light because it really looked more solid than just light. And once I left that room, um, I was well, just making the story here a little bit shorter. Of I met a woman, a blonde woman, very tall, and there was another man with her. And she told me that I was ready, and that she would the Pleiadians would contact me soon whenever I was ready for it. And then well, I came back to my bedroom. I quote unquote woke up, and at that moment I saw I had this inside myself saying, hey, now what should I do next? I mean, I had no idea. I just had this message saying the Pleiades will contact you as soon as you're ready. So one day I you know thought, well, I'm ready. And I started, trying to program myself to do these channeling sessions, especially during the morning. And that's funny. I started to try to develop it, and it didn't work. It didn't work. But I kept seeing, as I had the piece of paper in front of me, and I was ready to write something. Nothing came up. Only one single thing. There was the picture, and this was a very, very clear picture of of a heart, as if someone would have drawn it in a paper. You take your pen, you draw a small heart. That's what I had in my mind. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't understand that. And I spent, I think, an hour trying to understand what was going on. I finished the session I was very frustrated, and then during that day, I had that in my mind, and then suddenly I had this idea. I mean, what if it was that the spirits or whoever were trying to talk to me were asking me to draw uh, that heart, just to make sure that I'm receiving the message, that I'm there, right? And that's what I did in the following session. So the first thing I did in the following session was I received that same heart in my mind. So I was seeing the heart, and then I drew it on the paper. As soon as I did that, it was like I unlocked something,
Okay.
and new things started to pop up. So the first thing was the letter A, and then I wrote the letter A. After that, the letter B, and then until I don't remember exactly which letter, but let's say that until letter F. Uh, and then after F, they didn't start to they didn't follow a sequence. So from F, they went to X or M or some other letter, and they started sending me something more random, and I started writing all them down. After it felt like they were checking or making sure that I would be able to receive these. And once I started, I went through this, let's say, synchronization period. They started sending me words and then phrases. And when I got to the point where I started writing phrases, it took me quite a while to write one single phrase. So they would say, for example, I am Wagner. I would receive something like I, then a period of time, then am, then another space of time, Wagner. So, and with the time, like in a week, it took a week that the speed started to increase. And then I started writing, bigger messages. It was it was, when was that? May or June? I don't remember exactly the date, but I got a message that was very cryptic and let's say doomsday-ish, if I put it
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
Um, let me by the way, this is the book, my first book. The call is now. So that's where
Where where could they get that at?
yeah, that's where I tell all the story, and I have been publishing all these messages in these books, right?
Right, and I want to pause you for 1 minute. Your book that you just showed, where could the audience get that at?
Amazon. If you search for The Call Is Now or by W.L. Rodrigues, you'll find my books there.
Okay, I'll tell you what I would like you to do is after this interview is complete, send me that link because I'm gonna put that link in the description of this video
Of
so people
course.
could go check it out. And while you're doing that, while you're flipping through the pages there real quick, I'm very good at reading people. And one thing I could tell with you immediately is just the way you were thinking back. I could tell that you were truly thinking back to an authentic experience, meaning you are telling the truth. I could tell you're not making this up.
Thank
Now,
you.
and I want to point this out. I am a Christian. You and I will definitely differ on beliefs when it comes to aliens, but I don't want to go that direction in this interview. I want to give you this platform to say what you want to say and get your message out there because there are a lot of people that are that agree with you. that will agree with you. And just because I'm a Christian and my views are different than yours, I'm actually one of the few Christians that will say my faith may be wrong. I only go by faith. I can't prove the existence of God. I only go by faith. So I may be completely wrong with my opinion about aliens, but I don't want to make you have a brain fart, so to speak. So go ahead, buddy. You were flipping through the pages. What were you about to say?
Well, let me put it this way, Michael. I think that I'm a Christian too. Let me start with that, right?
Okay.
So, my I believe that we are all the sides of the same dice, right? So the truth is not just one side of the dice, right? So the truth is something beyond that, and we all, from our different religions, our different points of view, we see pieces of that truth, right?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I hope that I really believe, better saying, that one day we will see the whole picture. We will see the truth, right? We'll get there. At
Right.
this
Right.
point, in human evolution, we're still, walking uh, in baby steps, but we'll
I
get
totally agree. I totally agree.
there. We'll get there. Um, so, um, as I was saying, the first message that made me, stop everything, think back, what was going on, if this was really, something. And if I may read this message, it's a couple lines.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Um, the message was starts like that. What was, what is, what has been hidden in the shadows will be revealed when trumpets blow in the fifth day of creation. He will rise among men. He will bring the peace. And it was signed by Isaiah. Isaiah, I thought, is that Isaiah the prophet?
Mm.
I got later confirmation that it was Isaiah the prophet. So that was when, I really had a step back, and I went through my brother. He channels, he does a very extensive job work in Brazil, channeling spirits and helping people with this obsession there. Uh, and I asked him, to give me, if there was any spiritual insight or message from the spirits about that. And then there was not only a spiritual message, but there was a Pleiadian who stepped forward and provided me a message through my brother there. And that message was much more extensive than this. It's in the book, but basically it was saying that it was a mission, right? That I had just started. And that gave me more confidence, and I started, writing whatever they sent me. So you will see here in this book messages from multiple people from the Galactic Federation, uh, from spirits of all levels. I mean, people like us,
Hmm.
people in a very higher ground, let's say, or sphere than us. And then I received a message from the Federation, actually from Ashtar, Commander Ashtar, uh, talking about how would be the first contact with mankind.
Mm.
And that's where of I that came it derived the second book, that is the Galactic Federation of Light manual.
Beautiful
So this,
artwork, by the way. I like the artwork. Really good.
thank you. So in
Let me
this book,
go
yes,
ahead. Go
please.
ahead. And then I want to ask you something. Go ahead and finish what you were saying, but then I wanted to ask you something.
Sure, sure. So in this book, it's not there's just one channeled message, the foreword of this book, and they asked me to put a compilation of what the Galactic Federation is, and make sure there was a specific chapter mentioning the steps that will happen during first contact. So it is, let's say, part channeled, part a study and a compilation from other sources. So well, you can have make your question, and I can tell you about the first contact.
Yeah, because I really want to hear about that. But on my channel, on my TikTok channel, there are so many people talking about Three Eye Atlas, and I'm telling you, man, I've really been following this, and this thing is acting extremely strange. This thing, I'm telling you, in my heart, I believe that it's some kind of alien artifact, whether it be a ship, a probe, or whatever. I want to get into Three Eye Atlas after you get into your this channel or this first contact. But a lot of people ask, what is the Galactic Federation? Is it one alien race? Is it conducted of
Sure.
several? What is it?
Yes. Well, before I answer that, I had messages about Three Eye Atlas that you're gonna love
Oh, I can't wait.
it.
I can't
let
wait.
me let me explain first about who's the Galactic Federation, right? So, a long time ago, but really a long time ago, millions of years ago, there was a huge interstellar conflict in the Orion Belt
Okay.
called the Orion Wars. So basically, it intuitively saying it was the Star Wars trilogy, initial trilogy, was highly based on the Orion Wars. So
Mm.
there was a faction of uh, of reptilian beings that had an empire, a very aggressive empire, growing, and they were in this domination exercise. And there were, of course, just like in Star Wars, the rebels, where, but in this case, there were people fighting for freedom and this oppression from the reptilians, and that was composed of multiple races, right? They, well, they fought back, and once that conflict was dissolved, all these planets and races that were, fighting back the reptilian empire, they got together and they formed the Galactic Federation. So the Galactic Federation is, if I may say, a conglomerate of many planets, many races, that they have one common goal: peace, and that's it. So they all coexist. They do not, it, it's not like they dominate each other. So they all have peaceful intentions, and they contact other planets that they're ready for that next level. So they believe that now mankind is in a step, in a point where our consciousness, and I'm not just saying, let me rephrase it, not consciousness, but ourselves, really. we are in a moment very different from the past, where we were all warlike. We all wanted to kill each other, you know. But now most of us, we want peace, right? We don't want
Except for the
to.
world leaders.
Exactly, exactly,
Yep.
exactly. Even though we see wars escalating, these wars, they are led by our leaders,
Hmm.
not by the people. If you ask an Ukrainian mom and a Russian mom and ask them, "Do you want your kids to go to war and die there?" I believe we all know the answer, right?
Yep.
Same thing for Gaza. Same thing for anything, anywhere else. Um, so we are at that point, okay, and that's what is called a planetary transition, where the whole planet, as a whole, we are transitioning from this era of many sad facts or historical facts, and we're moving into a more of a rebuilding phase where we are creating a new world. Okay, this is a long process. This is a long thing. It doesn't happen in a day. So it all started, if we look how we are, how we were, 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, 100 years ago, you will
Right.
see progress. You will see
Right.
that
Oh
we
yeah.
are slowly moving, and we are at the point where we are able to have, let's say, a peaceful discussion with these guys, with these beings, and they can help us, also to continue this journey. Okay, so that's what I would say the Galactic Federation is. They are just, our galactic friends out there with peaceful intentions, waiting for us to join this galactic community.
You just answered my next question. There's a lot of people that I read in the comments that say that there are human representatives, and I was just about to ask you that, but like you were saying, we're not quite at that level yet. It's baby steps, so we wouldn't have any kind of human presence in the Galactic Federation. That would be correct, right?
Yeah, and Earth would join the Galactic Federation, let's say at a very lower level, right?
Hmm.
We would be interns in this
Right,
huge company, um, and we would start and learn a lot from all these beings. Imagine that you know, one day we have this contact with millions of cultures, of other cultures, civilizations, races that we couldn't even imagine. Um, and we'll have a lot to work with, internally and externally. I mean, not only the fact that we will have all this new information, but the question would be, how ready are we to for this contact, right? For this new step.
right,
Uh, People might be scared. People might be reluctant. There are people that might be open. Um, so that will be a critical moment in our history that is about to happen.
right. I look at it like this. I've always thought about all the different alien races out there. If they just sit back and observe what's going on, how humans are like developing nuclear bombs to blow up their own planet, kill their own people, they must look at us and be like, that is the very last race of being that I want in outer space to travel the cosmos, because humans are going to be battling over other planets before you know it. You know
Good
what I
point.
mean? We're battling over our own Earth. Can you imagine if we go to the cosmos?
Good point. Good point, Michael. And you're right. You're right. I mean, uh, but let me tell you that we're not the best race out there, but we're not the worst, right? There are much worse civilizations than us. That they are fear mongering. They work in a slave society, um, and they are technologically advanced, right? So, for example, let me give you, these are not races that are not part of the Federation, right? Uh, for example, the reptilians that I just mentioned, the reptilian empire, uh, the Greys, it's a good example. Um, the tall whites. So all these guys, so there are some insectoid sects that they are also very aggressive. So they are all out there. I mean, uh, we are. I would say that we are in a better position than these guys because even though we feel fear, we feel we have our bad moments, but we know deep down, most of us, I can tell you that we know how to love. And all these other races that I mentioned, they unfortunately don't know it. Um,
Right,
so,
right.
so,
Um,
for example, yes, for example, the
th-
Greys, they are very robotic, right? So they do not feel
are,
love or compassion. They
are the
just want
Greys,
to,
are they made?
yes.
Are they manufactured? Or are they born like humans are born? Because, like you just said, they're more robotic. Are, are they? What are they? Are they like? What? How am I trying to describe? Are they like AI? You know what I mean? Like biological
Hmm.
AI entities.
Hmm. Yeah. The Greys, they have a very sad history. They uh, they were so focused on technology and technological advancements that they started to forget what was to really feel. And I mean, love, compassion, or smile or anything. They reached a point where their DNA started to degrade, and the
Mm,
only solution for their reproduction was cloning. So they started to just clone themselves. And it is a scientific fact that there is, when you start a cloning process, there is a degradation factor, right, in there. So there is a point in time. It might not be, in the first, the second generation, but much later, where the DNA is so degraded that you cannot clone anymore. You're not able to do
mm,
that anymore. And they reach at that
mm.
point. So they are a dying race. And now their main focus, their main objective is to find a way to help their civilization to exist. They're fighting for their survival at this point.
Right, right.
And that's where you see the abductions, the experiments. You don't see people who entered in contact with Grace. They never say that they had a good conversation with them, right?
Yes, that rings
Always they
so
they were
true.
part of experiments. They
Mm,
were lying a table. They were all doing all sorts of experiments on them. And they really don't care how you feel about these experiments. They will just dissect you or, invade you in whatever ways they can,
Right.
with the intent to find something there that can save their race. Um, there was the good thing is that some grays, they decided to leave. Well, let's say be traitors to their own people, and they joined the Federation individually.
Mm.
And the Federation was able to help them, and they were quote unquote reborn, if I may put it this way, as a new race called the Essassani. So the Essassani, you might have heard about Bashar and
Yeah.
Daryl
Yeah.
Anka. So Bashar is an Essassani. And so basically, there's this new race of grays where they are more heart centered. So they're not just those robotic beings, those highly scientific beings, but they merged also that other aspect of our souls, and they were successful. So the Essassani now has been reborn. The Gray has been reborn as the Essassani.
That's very interesting. One thing going on in the comments right now, there are people talking about Three Eye Atlas. People want to know about that. I know you said you got some stuff that you think I'm gonna enjoy listening to.
Yes.
What could you tell me about this thing, man? Is it a comet? I don't believe it. Is it an asteroid? I don't think so. What is
I
it?
will. I will tell you what the messages that I received told me. Okay. Um, that's both. So it is a comment, but attached to that comment, there is a vessel. There is a ship. It
Mm,
is a ship from the Tall Whites, and they're not here to attack us. They're not here to dominate us. Uh, and you can see that by the trajectory from Three Eye Atlas. When it reaches closer to the inner solar system, we'll be at the other side of the sun.
yeah,
So they're not
yeah,
here to invade us.
yeah. A lot of people are scared about that, saying they're doing that on purpose. That when they get behind the sun, they could deploy probes or whatever they want to do. What are they doing? Like I know they're going to go past Venus, Jupiter, and Mars.
Yes.
That's where they're going to get closest to. I know
Yes.
they're not going to come to Earth, or well, maybe they change directions whenever they get beyond the sun. But what are they doing? I know that's going straight through and straight out of the solar system.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
There are two major things happening. One, uh, that the tall whites know about, and the other they're not aware of because that's beyond them. They are just using that comet as a way to scientifically explore our solar system without being properly
Mm,
detected as a ship, right?
yeah, yeah.
Because they don't have cloaking technology just like the Federation. The other thing they three are the other purpose of Three Eye Atlas was to ignite some sequences in the sun as it approaches through
Mm,
its by its mass, not by the tall white. So they're not doing it. They are
yeah,
doing it. The comet or the huge thing that is approaching the Three Eye Atlas by itself will interact with the gravity of our solar system, especially with the sun, and that will start the sequence of solar flashes.
It's already happening. It's already, this thing is interacting with the sun way out before it should even be doing it. So I can only imagine come October 3rd and into December when it gets closest to the sun, what it's going to do. And I watch a guy on YouTube. His name is Stefan Burns. He's an excellent astronomer.
I love him.
Oh, ain't he great?
I
That
love him.
guy,
He's the
yeah,
best.
yes, he is saying that the sun is interacting with 3i Atlas, and the way the sun is acting right now, it's causing
It's
the
insane.
earthquakes. Yeah, yeah. So if that's one of its purposes is to interact with the sun, that's kind of having a negative effect on Earth because we're having earthquakes, we're having volcanoes, and
Yes.
it seems like it's going to get worse, man. Like we're in
Yes.
for a doozy here.
Yes. This is what we call the peak of the planetary transition. So as 3i Atlas gets to the its perihelion, right? That's the
Yeah,
point where it's the closest to the sun. That will be, if I'm not mistaken, by the end of October. That will directly impact in our sun, and the sun will start to trigger, not necessarily that day, but
right,
starting at that day at some point, not far in the future, but in the near future from there, the sun will start to eject several it will start several mass ejections that will cause what we call the Great Blackout, or that will be a huge event that where all these solar flares they will reach Earth and we'll lose electricity and basically will be dead in terms of technology for about at least 3 days or so.
right. Now, these tall whites, are they a good race? Or like when it comes to interaction with humans?
They they are well, their behavior is a little bit better than the grays,
Okay,
because the grays they will really pick you up and dissect you. The tall whites they avoid contact at all costs.
okay,
So they are beings, well, like by the name, they are very pallid and they are very tall. Um, and they are very focused on scientific exploration, but they avoid contacting other races because they feel that they are superior. So they don't want to contact with Earth. They want to observe. They want to, see how things work. They want to study us, or whatever other race, but they will not, let's say, do first contact with
right,
Earth.
right. So are they? I mean, they would be aware that the comet that they're attached to would interact with the sun in a negative way because of its size, but that's not like their intent. Is what I'm trying to get at. They're not doing this to do this on purpose and cause
Exactly.
catastrophes and cataclysms on Earth.
Yeah, they're not doing that on purpose. Really,
Okay,
no, that's
okay,
not their intent. They have
it's
a peaceful intent.
okay,
Uh, but the thing is that 3i Atlas right now, it's half the size of the sun,
I know, I
right?
know. Yeah.
So can you can we imagine something that is half the size of the sun passing through our solar system without, interacting, without doing anything, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's really impossible. It will shake things up, and it
Yeah.
will. That's why it will start this massive interaction with the sun and start that solar event.
Uh, How long do you think the solar event will last?
Well,
Is it
the
just
so
like the
yeah.
normal, like how you'll get like sunspots that come out, and you'll get like I don't know, like maybe a week to a week and a half of activity, and then it dies down. Is it going to be like kind of the same thing? Well, I would imagine it would be longer though, because it's already interacting with the sun, and it's got
Hmm.
a long way to go still before it gets even closer.
Yep.
So it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, and then peak at perihelion.
Yep. So everything will the sun, if we look at how our sun has been behaving, there is there is an increase in in the volume of not sunspots, but the those areas in the sun where the temperature is lower than the rest of the sun, creating a coronal hole, what is called a coronal hole, right?
Do you mean like the blackness, the
That
black blobs that?
darkened, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So those regions where we call the coronal hole, they emit um, plasma streams, or better saying, solar winds to
Yeah.
Earth
Yeah.
that hits Earth, and we have a magnetosphere right around us that protect
Yeah.
us from the radiation from the sun.
Yeah.
This coronal hole will be so massive at that point that the solar winds will start to hit Earth so bad that our magnetosphere, instead of being a circle, it will start to become thinner, because of these constant hitting on us.
Right. Right.
In the sequence, right, as that is happening, it will start we'll start to see major solar flares that will be Earth directed. Solar flares that are at the level of Carrington event.
Well.
So
Okay.
the Carrington event, just for those that don't know, it was back, in the 1800s or something. We didn't have much technology. We just had the telegraphs,
Mm,
and our planet was hit by a major solar flare that fried all telegraphs around the world. So if that happened today, it would be like everything that is technological would just cease to exist, will die. It would be burned out.
so that event that you're talking about, where I mean, it was like millions of square miles of trees that were flat. That wasn't an asteroid blowing up in the sky. That was or no, no, no. I think I might be confused here on what you're talking about. Are you talking about the one where they're saying that a meteor blew up over the Earth in Russia, flattened all those trees? Or are you talking about the one where it was like back before we had the technology like we do now? That
Yeah,
it okay, all right.
yeah.
I
So
apologize for that. Yes,
no
I know what
worries,
you're
no
saying.
worries. We're good. We're good. We're all here to learn. We're good.
Right, right.
The Carrington event wasn't visible. We couldn't. We cannot see when there is a solar flash from the sun. We do not see that coming unless we monitor it with technology, right?
Right.
But with our eyes, we cannot see that.
Yeah, I was talking about the Tuscaloosa event. That's what I was
Okay,
talking.
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I went whoop far left.
We're good. We're good. We're good. So what is going to happen there is once we have these solar flashes, right, reaching Earth, and our magnetosphere will be also thinner. That will be the moment where it will just create a massive blackout worldwide, and in the that's where, I mean, believe it, based on different beliefs, in the spiritual realm there will be also something happening at the same time. So
Mm,
that's when Archangel Michael will come with his legion and just exile from this planet all dark beings that would be already marked for they need to leave the planet. That's it. They're gonna leave it. And so after these 3 initial days, that's what you see in the media a lot about 3 days of darkness.
I was just about to ask you that. Is that what
Yep.
you're talking about?
Yes,
Yes.
that's the three
Okay.
days of darkness.
And that's
Uh,
coming within months, is what you're saying.
yeah, it's not as apocalyptic as, let's say, John saw back then when
Oh,
he wrote the Revelation book, right?
right. Right.
Because a lot we earned, humanity earned a lot since then. We became better, so things changed a bit, but we're still gonna see some events coming up, and the during that solar flash, it will just shut down all electricity, all technology. During these 3 days, Archangel Michael will just sweep the earth with his legion. All these dark beings will be removed from here, so we'll feel much better after that. We'll see things getting better, much better worldwide. Um, and well, the physical effects will be that, well, just imagine that something like that happens. I mean, for 3 days, you need to get prepared to have some food, some water, some light. You need to just have a small preparation for that right at home.
Yeah.
Uh, After those 3 days, things will start to come back with what is, with, let's say, primary services coming out first. So, for example, electricity, water,
Yeah.
things like that. Then internet will come back, slowly coming back, maybe a few weeks after or a month after, I can say. But then we'll see, our society coming back from that, right?
When I would always hear 3 days of darkness, I've always pictured this crazy apocalyptic event. Literally no sunlight, complete darkness. I forget how the prophecy went. What was it? Don't look at the darkness, or there was something weird about it. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
You could die, or something like that. So this isn't an actual darkness. This is communication darkness.
Yeah. It was supposed to be an actual darkness.
Okay.
Uh, in the That was mentioned to me in some recent channelings. But Three Eye Atlas was supposed to pass between Earth and the Sun. So as it goes, between the sun and us, that huge mass would create kind of an eclipse,
Yeah.
and that would be not just like a 5 minute or 10 minute eclipse, just like we have with the moon. So it would slowly go through, past that, and it will take like about 3 days to go through the sun. to go through that path and be out of that eclipse.
Yeah.
But that changed. That plan changed because we deserved it. So what is going to happen now is just the technological and electrical darkness, if I may put it this way.
Okay.
Okay.
I completely
Still,
understand you now.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is recommended that we do not leave our homes unless you really need to during those 3 days, because it in the spiritual realm it will be a nightmare, because all these dark beings will be out there, and they are trying to do all they can to leave Earth.
Right.
And that one, if you are at home, in prayer, under your protection, following whatever um a belief system that you have, just make sure that you're there, that you have a peaceful mind, and nothing's going to happen to you. But if you need to get out, just be careful, because things will not be so nice. Some people with a heightened mediumship might even see these dark beings outside.
I was just about to ask you, not so much about the psychics, but is there going to be a significant increase in like thing kind of activity, paranormal
Yes.
activity?
Yes, there will. There certainly will during these days. We um, we are all mediums at some level. Okay? Some more developed than others, but we all have the capability of that, right?
Okay.
So some people might, like I said, might even see those dark spirits of in the on the streets. They might hear things, and that they're not there. Um, Others might have a bad feeling, that something bad is happening. So at all levels, people will feel that out, feel that. Um, but some people might not hear anything, might not see anything, because their mediumship is not, at that level, right?
Right.
So
I have a question for you too, and this might be kind of way off topic, but ever since this 3i Atlas has been in the news, like it's a significant thing now. Everybody's talking about it. It never before could you just walk down the street and be like, "Oh, you know about that new rock coming through space?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, I know all about it." Everybody knows about it now. But it seems like the closer it gets, the worse my health has become. Now, this is crazy because, yeah, I've been treated with high blood pressure, okay? But I'm telling you, man, I've been getting readings of like 228 over 130. Okay, like really, really bad. And my anxiety has went through the roof. I don't feel the same. Me and my girlfriend, like, I can't stay awake, like, to spend time with her. Dude, I'm telling you, sometimes I get nervous that I don't fall asleep during this interview. And it's not because I'm bored. I
yep,
literally just go out. And this isn't me, man. This isn't me. Like, I
it's
feel like
everywhere.
something's changing almost as it gets closer.
Yep.
And maybe there's no, connection, but it's
Yeah.
strange.
Not necessarily with 3i Atlas, but it is connected to another fact. As part of the planetary transition that we're
Mm,
in, um, the very there are in the spiritual realm, and again, I don't want to push a belief system to anyone, or anything, but I'm just saying what I have been studying, and it aligns with the communications that I receive. Okay,
right, right.
there are levels in the spiritual world. There is no heaven or hell there, but there are levels, uh, let's say, of evolution levels of consciousness. So if you are a very dark being, if you are, a massive killer, or whatever, but you're just the worst kind of person, you will not be in the same area, spiritual realm or vibrational realm, as someone like Gandhi or Mother Teresa,
Right,
people
right.
like that, right?
Completely
uh,
understand.
it's not that these people are in hell, in heaven, but they are just in different areas, different vibrational areas.
Okay.
The lowest vibrational area, it's being disassembled right now with all this planetary transition, and as this lower planes, they are being disassembled. All these beings, they are surfacing to our reality right now. So that's where we can see that, recently we can see a peak in exactly what you have been saying with everyone. Most
Yes.
people, they will say, "Oh, I've been going through, some anxiety or some depression, or, something that has been hiding up that didn't happen like 10 years ago,
A
20
hundred
years ago."
percent. Yes.
Yeah. So that's something happening right now, and that's related to that fact that these darker beings, they are starting to get all around us, and that's where we see that they are also helping wars to escalate, and
They're doing a
all
good
these,
job at that.
yeah, and all these bad things happening worldwide. What we suggest, not me, not only me, but the spiritual mentors, they say that make sure you have your good protection on your use your faith based on your own belief. Let's say that you are Catholic or Protestant, or you follow Hinduism, or whatever. Make sure you use this tool that is your religion to protect yourself, in
Right.
the ways that you feel better. So, for example, ask for the angels to protect you in your house, or ask for Mother Gaia to protect, to help you there if you have another belief system. But make sure that you remember this whenever you have that feeling. Center yourself and make sure that you do this exercise of protecting you, protecting your surroundings, and you see that doing this day by day, this will get better.
And it's you bring up what you say just makes total sense to me because they were giving me medicine after medicine, and it wasn't doing a doggone thing. And I remember I said, Jesus, I can't take this anymore. I completely submit to you. I'm asking you to take this away. And as I'm hooked up to the blood pressure monitors down there, it literally went to like 120 over 70. It went down. But here's
Yep.
the thing. Here's the thing. It'll be good then, but then I could wake up the next day and feel uh, like feelings of impending doom that I'd
Hmm.
never felt before.
Yep. That's because we're getting closer to the peak of the events. So that feeling will be there. That, the feeling that something is coming up, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you will have that feeling until we reach the peak that is the solar flash. But whenever you feel that, two good exercises there. When you wake up, first thing, make sure you do your prayer, or your meditation, but make sure you do your protection, right? And
right.
protect your home or your work or whatever you're going to be that day. When you go to sleep, Also, make sure you take, get 5 minutes before you really sleep, do your prayer, your meditation. Make sure that you're also protected at the moment. You will see that things will, your rhythm will become more stable.
Mm,
The feeling that something's coming up will still be there because there's something coming up,
right.
but you will feel better. You'll be more in peace because when the events really get to that point, you will not be in panic. You not have an anxiety, a crisis. You will be centered there.
Right. And that makes a lot of sense. And I'm definitely going to practice that more because, like, my girlfriend, she's never seen me like this before. Like, I was talking to her the other day, and I'm like, I was just telling her, baby, like, I'm going to come back. Like, my normal self is going to come back. I don't know what's going on, though. This is something so new to me that
Yep.
it almost makes me feel like I'm losing control of my own self.
Yep. And that's the intent. That's the intent. I mean, there are two ways of us, handling that situation. One is just to give up. And that's what, these darker beings want because they
Yep,
want to control you through fear, through pain, and all of that.
yep,
Or we can react and say, no, not going to do that. Not here,
y-
not now.
yep, yep, 100%.
No.
You got to fight, man. That's exactly what it is. You got to fight. And it was
Yep.
like when I prayed to Jesus and I submitted. I mean, I had already submitted and gave my life to Him. But when He took it away that night, I thought, oh, okay, well, He took it away forever. No, it's a battle ongoing, is
Yeah,
what I'm
exactly.
learning.
It's a
Yeah.
constant exercise. Yeah.
Then we don't get that much more time, man. But there's so much I could ask you. Like, let me just think of this. Have you ever had any channelings with let's say something not so good that you were like, whoa, I don't want to be a part of this.
No, and the reason is that before I start my channeling sessions, I spend like around 20 minutes, 25 minutes in prayer.
Mm,
And I
okay.
create a very powerful bubble of protection
Yeah.
around me that only those that are really there to provide, good messages,
Right.
uh, they will be there.
So you're putting your
So
armor on.
yeah, so I got messages that I was really, uh, let's say, they didn't provoke me fear, but they were really like wow, right? And for example, the one that I mentioned, from Prophet Isaiah. I
Mm,
mean, it is just a warning, but not, something, saying that, hey, tell people to do these bad things, or, something around those lines. But no, but much more of warnings saying, hey, if humanity, if people continue to go, following this path, they will there will be consequences out there.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
more around those lines.
Now, I see the book behind you, and you showed the other book. Do you have any other books? Do you have maybe more
Yeah.
that you're working on that you would like to talk about?
Sure. I can quickly go through that. The So I showed you the first book. That is The Call Is Now, right?
Okay. And hey,
So
take your time talking about them.
yeah,
Don't feel rushed. Plug this plug. Take as long as you want.
sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So The Call Is Now. It is my first book. It is on Amazon right now. All my books are published through Amazon. So this one tells my story from the beginning, just like I mentioned how my first contact with Pleiadians happened, my first channelings, all that, and later in the book you will see more the bigger messages, right? So, for example, from the Galactic Federation of Light. I have messages here from Prophet Isaiah, from Saint Paul, from Saint John, from Ashtar, and others. Um, just by curiosity, but average, on a weekly basis, I channel about 15 to 20 messages per week. So that's a lot coming through,
Yes.
every day. And as soon as I finish a book, or the better saying, the spirituality says, "Hey, this book is finished." I just
Mm.
close that and start the publishing that.
That's a good way of putting it. I like
Yeah,
how you said that.
yeah. The second book is the Galactic Federation of Light Manual. So this one was created in parallel with the first book. Actually, one of the messages here in the call is now was from Ashtar, explaining how the first contact will happen with mankind, and that's where the manual came up, where it explains what the Federation is, explain its races, its technology, and also how this first contact will happen. After also during the call is now, there was I started to receive messages about a spiritual city that is located above Oklahoma
Mm.
in the United States. That spiritual city is called the Sanctuary.
Mm.
So uh, the third book is called Letters from the Sanctuary. So basically, it's a compilation of letters from citizens from this spiritual city, saying how things are there, how they live, how were their lives here on Earth, what happened when they died, so all of that. So it's very, very interesting if you want to know more about how is life after life, right? After
Mm.
this life.
I like how you say that, life after life instead of life after death.
Oh yeah, yeah, there
Yeah.
is. We never die. Actually, we're eternal beings. The fourth book, that is the one that was. It's still only available for Kindle, but I'm just finishing the revision of this one, so you can have
Okay.
anyone can have a printed version. Uh, it's the Interstellar Countdown.
Mm.
So it provides more details about all these events that are about to occur, to happen, and are already happening, about the planetary transition. Here we have more messages from the Federation, from spirits. The prophet Hosea, uh, ancient Greeks, we have Atlanteans, we have Lemurians in this book. The the next book is the one that I'm still channeling, so I still don't have a name for that. But whenever we get to a point where we're more towards the end of that, then I start working on the title. But and also there is a volume 2 for the Galactic Federation manual.
Okay.
Well, the Galactic Federation is so massive, so there are so many things to talk about that couldn't fit into one book.
Oh, I
So
agree. Yeah.
now I'm working on the second volume, adding more, enriching that all that story.
And I'll tell you what, guys, he's going to send me the links to the Amazon or the Amazon links, and I'm going to put that all in the description so you guys can check it out. Wagner, I'll tell you what, this has been a pleasure talking to you, man. It's actually been quite refreshing. And by the way, you're in Brazil, right?
No, I'm in Oklahoma.
Okay,
I'm
well,
Brazilian, but I
okay,
live in Oklahoma.
okay, because people in the comments were saying you were from Brazil. I was about to say, you speak the best English I've ever heard from
Oh,
someone
thank
that
you.
lives in Brazil.
Yeah,
but
I am
but
from Brazil originally, but I moved with my family to Oklahoma. Yeah,
okay, okay. Tornado Alley, welcome to America.
thank you.
Yeah. But hey, I want to thank you so much for coming on here, man. It's been a pleasure. If there's anything you would like to say and finale to the audience, anything that somebody might need to hear, the floor is
Yep.
yours, man.
My just one quick message is about the events that are about to happen. So you will see things getting darker.
Mm,
So you will see wars escalating. We're already seeing that. We will see more events shaking up the planet in all senses, and those are all part of the divine plan. The everything that is about to happen and is already happening is part of a plan for us to rethink ourselves,
mm,
rethink, look inside us, and say, "Hey, uh, can I do better? Can I be a better person? And how
mm.
do I do that?" Right? Um, it will get worse before it get better, and just make sure you keep your faith, whatever belief you follow. Right?
Mm.
Just make
Yeah.
sure you keep your faith, and that faith will guide you through all that.
I thank you, man. I thank you very much for reaching out to me and coming on my program. And I'll tell you what, I would love to have you back on one day.
Well, that will be a great pleasure, my friend.
All right, we're going to go ahead and conclude this. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you so much, my friend, and you take care and God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Take care, man. All right.